One Piece chapter 1106 is here, and it is hands down another amazing chapter. We are over 26 years deep into this manga, and Oda keeps on dropping better and better chapters each and every week. We start off with this cool cover page with Robin and a crocodile who's dressed up by Robin, which is pretty cool, and then we kick off the chapter with the mysterious ship arriving onto the island, which we had seen last week, with many speculating whether these are friends or foes, but we don't exactly get the reveal yet. Instead, we cut over to Luffy, who's now eating some food, and we see the Marines warning each other not to get close to him, paralleling how they were warned not to get close to Saturn. This moment really does a good job of drumming in the fact that Luffy is now actually an emperor of the sea, and the fear that comes along with it. I also found it kinda hilarious how they were afraid that he might gobble them up. The pacifistas are shooting, and the Marines are trying to constrain Luffy, in encouraging each other to put some cuffs on him, even though he's a frickin' emperor. And my king has already gone into gear 5th, and we see him smiling that glorious smile. And you already know it's over for the fodder Marines, cause sun god Nika's here, baby. The Marines nevertheless continue to shoot at Bonnie and Kuma at the orders of Saturn, and the pacifistas are about to as well, but Vegapunk yells at Atlas to let Bonnie know about something. She tells her, and we see this gorgeous page with Bonnie screaming at these copies of her father not to shoot. I had seen some theories previously, connecting Bonnie in this arc with how Kama in the previous arc had controlled the gifters, and how Bonnie could control the pacifista, and I am really glad Oda used this. Bonnie tells the pacifista to help them escape, and they shoot at everybody else. We get these beautiful double-page spreads where they're shooting at the Marines, and it shows how they're such a destructive force. Vegapunk then reveals that when he made the pacifistas, the idea of Bonnie being killed by her father was something that he just couldn't bear, and so he made sure that each and every clone that had Kuma's appearance would obey her orders, even keeping her above the Gorosei. And he says such a beautiful piece of dialogue: "It doesn't matter if the entire planet is against you, Kuma will always be on your side." This was the only one selfish liberty he took in the whole project. We saw how he was breaking down and crying his heart out when Kuma's memories were being erased, when his whole existence was being erased. We know he feels really deeply for Kuma, yet he did follow his orders. He went ahead and erased the memories. But this scenario kept on going on in his head, and even he couldn't stomach such a cruel scenario, so he took this liberty and tried to help Bonnie with it. But this ultimately is a massive step against the royal government, and revealing this in front of Saturn is kind of risky, to put it extremely lightly, and he has to pay the price, so he gets impaled by Saturn. Now, I don't know if this is really gonna be where he dies, because first of all, this is One Piece, and also because even though he's straight up impaled through the chest, we've seen people survive way worse in this manga. Although I do really like Vegapunk, but I also wouldn't be as mad if Oda really did kill him, and I think that's because of the satellites. We got basically Vegapunk, but with different looks, and as long as one or two of them survive, I don't think it's too bad, really. Saturn then orders Kizaru to eliminate them, and he hurts Sanji, Frankie, and Atlas, who were all trying to protect Bonnie. And then when she's defenseless with only Kuma, he comes up and tries to finish it in one slash. But he forgets one tiny little detail. You see, there's laughter coming from somewhere. Oh yes, that is my glorious king coming to the rescue. Kizaru is absolutely baffled, and he gets punched to the ground by the greatest in the game. He should have learned by now to bow down in the presence of greatness. Bonnie views Luffy in this form for the first time, and we see him transforming the ground into rubber, with his heart beating to the tune of the drums of liberation. We see the Iron Giant waking up, and then finally Bonnie realizes that all the time that she was with her dad, the liberator that was talked about was not just a myth, was not some faraway legend, but is in fact in front of her. Straw Hat Luffy, the young boy who caught Kuma's eye, is sun god Nika. This is one of the most goated panels in One Piece, and I'm just going to frame it on my wall. It's simply amazing. She starts tearing up, and I really hope that some form of Kuma's consciousness is still in him, just so he gets to witness his savior in front of him. He went through a whole lot of shit. He deserves to at least see the sun god with his own eyes. We then cut to the northeast coast, where the unknown ship is now coming, and it is Dorian Broggy. Nobody could have seen this coming. People were too busy with their dragons and blackbeards and akainus to even consider these two returning, and it's really fitting since Elbaf is now the most likely place we're going to. But what's really surprising to me is how they know that Luffy is the sun god. So I guess that means that Shanks already knew, and when he finally saw Luffy in his transformed state in the bounty posters, he sent Dory and Broggy to pick him up, since now whatever he must have been planning for Luffy can now be fulfilled, or I guess he must now think that he's finally become a great pirate now. We do have a break week next week, but with how Oda has been cooking lately, he can take all the breaks he needs. These are the top-notch gourmet meals that I sit each and every week to eat, and the chef can have as much time as he needs to prepare them. My hopes for next week are that we continue from here and get to see how this all evolves from here. I would love for Dory and Broggy to interact with the crew, but I think it's going to be focused more on either Saturn or Vegapunk, or maybe Luffy and Kizaru, and maybe Wani. Anyways, I have no doubt it's going to be amazing, and I just can't wait for more. If you like this, please subscribe. I make videos about stuff I like, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.